Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cal. This is Lufia 2 Ancient Cave, and we are about ready to head down, let's see, floor 54. A lot of the early threats have been avoided at this point. We are past ninjas. We are past blue mimics. There's still a lot of scary stuff to come. Currently, we've got a okay setup. We're using Tia, Artie, Maxim, and Dakar, and Sully as our capsule monster. But we don't have much in the way of... Honestly, our items are kind of terrible. That's basically where I'm going with this. Yeah. Let's double check real quick here. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, we have no jelly kill items. Those would be referring to items that either give you percentage-based damage. Yeah, they saw me. I was hoping I could get in behind them. We're looking for a got in first here. To get past one of these. We are at the point now where every treasure chest is going to count. There we go. And we're not... I know there's going to be areas where we can't get them later. These guys are kind of scary. I mean, they have tons of hit points and they hit like a ton of bricks, but there's scarier things coming. They only attack once. That's really the saving grace there. That was not worth it. Right now what we're looking for are, like I said, the percentage-based weapons would go a long way. So that would be mainly things like the deadly weapons, which would also be very helpful in terms of getting through the dungeon. Also, things like the Dakar Blade would be great, Gatie's Blade. We're not quite to the point where we can get Myth Blade or Old Sword yet. Oh wait, no, we can get Old Sword. One of those, at least, is basically a requirement. And we're currently at the point right now where we do not have any. And if we have to go on... I've never actually seen anybody get a kill without percentage-based damage. Yep. Got greedy. That was worthless. Oh well. Terror Ball's a chance at an instant kill. Oh good. Thank you, Sully. Probably could have had Artie attack. That's okay. And that's okay. Out of the things he could do, that was one of the least terrible. There we go. Some good XP. Did I just ruin my order? No. Okay. Oh, yeah, I did a little. Oh well. Okay, I have 1 high magic and 5 X magic. So we're gonna go and do this. I would just like to have some decent magic, and I was totally not paying attention there at the end. The reason we're fighting those Hedoras is because they have a chance to drop an item called the Hedora Rock. It looks like we did not get one. It's worth a look. We definitely don't want to fight those guys. I believe that guy should be an enemy called a Sly Fox. And they are, I believe they get 2 to 3 attacks against you. Tight Dress shouldn't be better than what we've got. So yeah. We've got some decent healing items, and we've gotten a couple of the blue chest style attack all enemies things, which are okay for getting through the dungeon. We do not. We've got some healing magic, which is nice, but we're very limited MP recovery. We do have the magic bikini, but that requires Tia to have it equipped when she happens to have IP without dying, and she dies a lot. Yeah, we're not gonna bother. If we had a deadly weapon, I would be totally okay with trying to take those guys out. But right now, again, we're really pushing just to get through. Since we actually have to kill enemies with damage. Killing some of these enemies, I mean, it takes like a round or 2 just to get through one enemy's HP right now, just because of how hardy they are. Deadly weapons would make that go a lot faster, but we're lacking. That's our 3rd Holy Whip. Okay. Fire shield's okay. That's not good. That should be... We're not far enough for it to be the really scary dragons, but dragons are always a little scary. Nope. Zerko Sword really never gets any love. One of the best items in the regular game. It's not bad. I'll take it. Perish is an instant death spell. It has like a 50% chance, I think, of actually working. Wait, no, that's destroy. One of those is a 50% chance, one of them is a 30% chance. Either way, it's not great. Deadly weapons are an 80% chance, so they're much better. See if Maxim can one-shot these. Nope. Okay. So we took one of them out. That is really the goal there. Actually, should have had already attacked. That was my bad. But it worked out. Two Strongers. Probably would have been fine with just using a champion there. No cores. These are the final evolution of cores. They are really... I mean, this is what we want right now. If any of them stick around, we're going to get a ton of experience. This will definitely help us survive. We are currently at the level for the speedrun version of trying to get through this. So we're like literally right on pace to be able to rush through. Now the downside is that strategy for that generally involves getting deadlies. Deadly sword, deadly rod would go a long way right now. So we should be on, I think that's, I didn't actually see because I was looking at my sheet, but I think that's 59. We've got no cores, we've got high Hedoras still. We can probably be or do okay against high Hedoras as long as we don't attack them head on. No pun intended. That's about how they normally work. So if we can get up behind the high Hedora, we can take another shot at getting that Hedora. right, he doesn't get those. Yes! Percentage-based instant kills for the win. We're basically gonna have to be doing stuff like that for a lot of the rest of this run. We also didn't get the hit or a rock, so we're still SOL on it. This should be floor 60, which is where the Myth Blade starts spawning. It's one of the items that we're looking for potentially. Percentage-based damage item. Flash, and should be fine with just Flash. They're probably all just gonna run away anyway. Yep. Oh, we had the opportunity there and did not get it. And they turned around. Okay, we're just gonna run away. Go for another. We can wait. Hopefully you can see the problem. That's why we're going for that back attack. For a penny. You basically have to take it out this way. There's a very low chance of us actually surviving 2 rounds of attacks against it. Again, was not paying attention. We don't have the... Nope. We do have... We do have a decent amount of stuff here. Let's do a little bit of... The trick here is you want to feed them high-level items, alternating with low-level items to try and basically raise and lower their expectations as you go. Pretty sure this is all just gonna... Okay, there's one. Yeah, not enough. I felt like we were starting to get enough accumulation, and I thought a couple of those were gonna be worth points that weren't, so... We're getting close to his 4th tier, and his 4th tier is my favorite, personally, so... see if we can get... There's a dragon over here, right? We're basically going to abuse this to briefly get Tia. Oh, we actually should be good to finish it off then. This is probably gonna hurt, but I'm okay with this hurting a bit. As long as nobody dies. That actually sets up Tia to use Magic Cure again as soon as we find a spot to do it. We're gonna have Maxim use a heal there. Floor 60 for real this time. This is where the enemies start getting terrifying again. Need to be very careful, and we're probably just going to pick up convenient items and get out of the way. There's too many very scary enemies here. Maybe if I can get this dragon, a back attack on this dragon. As long as they're not white dragons, they're not super fast. So, at worst, we'd be able to... There we go. Oh, that's right, he has a fire sword. Crap. Well, this works. Again, they're not super fast, which means they're easier to escape from, and even if they get 2 hits, we're probably okay in the long run. Well, it was a good run. We'll see if we can survive this. These are an enemy called salamanders. They are terrifying, and they're probably going to wreck us. We'll see. They are fast and they get 2 actions, or have the chance at 2 actions, which means they're probably just going to nuke half of our party in one round. If I guessed right on their weakness here, we're good. We're okay. Maybe. Got lucky. We got lucky. We got lucky. I mean, I guess as lucky as you can get when your way gets blocked off by enemies that are on the do not fight list. So there's 3 types of enemies here that we're avoiding. One of them is those salamanders. As you saw, they have very powerful AoE effects, and they go really fast. The things we want to avoid with enemies, generally speaking, are really fast enemies, enemies with area of effect, and enemies with multiple attacks per round. If something has 2 or more of those traits, then they are especially a problem. And if they are, in addition to that, hard to avoid on the map, or harder to manipulate on the map, that's another factor. So, for example, those salamanders, once they see you, they'll keep moving towards you. So the problem there was they moved and blocked off the door because they saw us go through it. Other enemies like the ninjas, will run directly at you. They get 2 attacks, and one of them is an area of effect. Gold golems, which I am hesitating to even say because if they show up, that's pretty much just it. Have an area of effect. I believe these should be an enemy called Seraphica. We don't really want to fight them, but they do give an item that helps with Sully. Puts Sully in M tier. We'll see what the rest of the floor looks like. Those are not Seraphica. That makes that easier. I was wrong. In this case, I'm okay being wrong because I don't want to fight things with warm eyes. Warm eyes are the other ones on the list. They move 1 square and then 2 squares alternating, so they have a chance of moving very far, very fast, and they're kind of scary. Did I pass the stairs, or is it hiding somewhere? So those snake enemies are really easy to avoid because we can at least manipulate them on the map. We don't want to fight them, but we can manipulate them on the map, which makes them less dangerous. It's all relative, though. And in a narrow room or a room with lots of enemies in it, we can still end up in trouble. We're gonna have to fight this, no matter what. So these guys aren't too bad. They are very heavy on their stats effects, but as long as we just wade through them and be careful, we should be good. I forgot to switch Maxi back to the Sizzle Sword, otherwise we'd be in much better shape. That's the main one we don't want to have happen. Sleep we can deal with, especially if it's on somebody who's not doing a ton of damage. Confuse is the big one we don't want to get hit with. And as long as they keep multi-targeting, the chance of it actually hitting is fairly low. I mean, if you do it 3 times, the percentages eventually get there, but area of effect spells or status actually have a lower chance of hitting if, like, just like with damage, the percent or the damage gets split up between the enemies. with status effects, the percent chance of it hitting gets split up between the enemies. Okay. That's good. We're gonna have Artie use champion because we need the heals now. By the way, just to be clear, when I say we should be able to fight this, that doesn't mean it's gonna be that was really dumb. If there was more than one, I would have probably ran away, but because there's only one, we'll go for it and just see if we can one around it, and we got a magic cure out of it as well. I'll take it. Oh, he's got a ways to go. I'm done. Let's hope we don't have to go through there. Stairs are right there, so we don't. Yeah, basically up through 68, we're just in one of our... Up through 68 is one of the kind of death zones where there's just tons of stuff that will just run at you and kill you. So it's the next few floors. Okay. And we got confirmation that is a circle, so we got everything on the floor. Fortunately, we have no choice but to fight this thing because of where it was positioned. We don't want to. We got lucky. Actually, we're doing okay. They do get multiple actions, which is a big problem, and they have MP absorb, which is a huge problem. But at least they didn't drain both of our characters off. And they didn't manage to kill Artie. We got very lucky. Seems like a good opportunity to use a miracle, actually. Low HP, low MP. Okay, so these are the Warm Eyes I mentioned. See, they have the same type of trait as a golem, where they just move 2 squares towards you when they're in line. We're not risk. Okay. So, I'm going to take a moment here to talk about treasure rooms, or party rooms. Sometimes there's a chance that the randomizer will put all the enemies and all the treasure chests on the floor in one room. We call this a party room. When the stairs are in the party room, it's a terrible... On high floors, it's really bad. Second point. I mentioned gold golems that will kill us in one round. That's those 2 yellow guys at the bottom. Other enemies that will kill us in one round include an enemy called Evil Fish. Those are the 2 octopuses right in front of us. Warm Eyes are the 2 at the bottom. So we're gonna have to kill through most of this to get to the stairs. Most of this stuff at the top, at least. The lions are sphinxes, I believe, which have status effects, tons of hit points, and decent physical attacks, but they are less scary than the rest of the stuff because we can get in ahead of it and heal, and they don't have multiple actions. These are not evil fish. We're good. They may still be scary, but they're not the ones that I was thinking they were, at least. Let's see if they're faster than Artie and Chief. We're just gonna double cast Firebird and see if this kills all of them. It might not, but it's worth a shot. Nope. So at that point, the smarter plan would have been to target them down so they couldn't do that. We still got them in one round. That could have been way worse. The gold golem started moving around the treasure chest. We're out. No more screwing around. We're getting the treasure chests that we can get that are on the way. We're leaving, and we're moving. They do have 2 actions. But again, they do some status stuff at least. They're not just going to blast us with AoE twice. They just put up Destroy, or Mirror, so we don't want to cast Destroy anymore. And I did not mean to defend there, but Artie goes last, so we're stuck. Or Artie gets assigned last, so we're stuck. So, once again, re-emphasizing, these things have a ton of hit points. There we go. Sphinx loses Mirror, but we have already done a bunch of damage, and Tia's asleep, so no more Destroy. If we get this Destroy off, this goes a lot faster. Nope. Oh well. Once again, there's way worse things that could happen here. This is me being greedy, by the way, also, because I should have just probably gone to the stairs, but I feel like we did well enough on that first Sphinx fight that we should be able to get this one more and get that extra treasure chest, and it might be worth it. And they're slow enough that we get 3, everyone except the cargoes before them. This is what happens when you're greedy sometimes. That was not worth it. Say it with me now. That wasn't worth it. I'm only asking you to say it with me so that I remember it. Okay, so gold golem over to the left there. We're not even going to check that door until we've checked everything else. Literally, we'd rather fight anything else than that. This is probably that same room, so we want to be very cautious going in, because there could be that gold golem rushing at us. If we see him start to move, we get out of there. No question. Ideally, we don't even let him on the screen. Sky Sword is good. Sky Sword is one of the best weapons in the game. And I believe... Oh, Dakar can use it. Use Sizzle? No. Okay, so that settles that. Dakar's using Sky Sword. For the time being, at least. Oh, I forgot about the Flame Jewel. What does that do? Attack 10, Intelligence 10, Magic Resist 10. Agility is more important right now. Hey, we got all but one room. We'll take it. $67. Another party room. Those enemies that are teleporting there are leeches, or which would be lich in standard things, but there's a terrible translation team. Liches are actually one of the enemies that we could technically farm to try and get an item, but they are very scary. They're less scary than most of the other things that are in this area. And we do have a good chance at getting in behind them. What the hell? Great. At least these are squids and not the other thing. See if they can one-shot these. Great. I made a mistake. Again. Involving these enemies. He is dead. Sully's dead. Holy crap. Champion. They go before maxing, so I don't have time to heal Tia if I revive her. Sorry, my Google Home device seems to think I'm talking to it. Probably shouldn't be fighting this. But I think this is where we have to go, so. The reason is mostly because of them. They literally go first. I actually should have probably had Tia use champion. But I'm trusting that Maxim can finish them off. And we got the Holy Fruit. So let's just get 2 attacks. One of them is Area of Effect, and Black Thunder has a chance at instant death. They also can call companions, and the worst part is that their companions can also call companions. So these fights can just get really out of control really easily. Okay, we're good. Mistake. Okay, we're going this way. Didn't get in first. Oh well. Let's just nuke it. Once again, they do lots of big scary effects. That is the level 3 ice spell. So, the item that I mentioned that they can drop is a very low chance of dropping. I'm way too excited about that, and unfortunately I'm guessing it's going to be the wrong one. Yep. Still a crappy one. Got in first. One thing I hadn't mentioned, if you get in first against an enemy, and you have that that free round, you can always run away. It is a guaranteed thing that you can run away in that situation. At least Tia's probably dead. And they're faster than Artie. And it's been a good run. I'm pretty sure that that surprise attack did it. We wouldn't have noticed. But that is how the Ancient Cave works sometimes. I had no idea where the stairs were, so that was a long way off. But it was a pretty interesting run still, and honestly, I don't think I could have beaten the jelly anyway, unless we got really lucky with some future drops. So hopefully you still enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. Got tons more of these runs, lots of other RPGs, lots of Super Nintendo RPGs especially, running FF6 right now, and have a full run of Lufia 2 up there if you're interested in it as well. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments, and as always, have a good one.